This is a 2024 paper 1 for IGCSE, and here are 6 cards. 5 of the cards have a number written on them. There you go. Work out the number that should be written on the last card so that the mean of the 6 numbers will be 11. So if we know that 6 times 11 equals 66, then the number that goes in there is simply 66 minus all the rest. So that's 31, 34, 36, plus 9 is 45. So it's 66 minus 45, which is 11. 11? There we go, let's try that again. No, it's not, it's 21. Okay, so that's how you do that one. I'm going to just keep going, because what the hell. Here's a bias spinner. The table gives information about the probability that when the spinner is spun once, it will land on each number. Alexis is going to spin the spinner 400 times, work out the estimate of the number of times the spinner will land on an odd number. So in order to do this, the main thing we've got to know is this equals 1. So it adds up to 1. So we know that 2x plus x and then plus 0.27 plus 0.04 plus 0.12 equals 1. I haven't actually got my calculator out, by the way. So 3x plus 0.31, 0.43, I think, equals 1. So that means 3x equals 1 minus 0.43, which is 0.57. And then that means that x equals 19, I think, because, yeah, that's fine. Or actually, x equals 0.19. Now, that means that for every 100 times it spins, for every 100 spins, you'd expect it to land on... Oh, now I've actually got to fill this out. So this means that this is 0.38 and this is 0.19. Okay, so I'm happy with that. But it's how many times it'll land on an odd number. So we have to add up the odd numbers. That's 1, 3, and 5. This is more annoying than I had actually anticipated. So add them up. So chances of 1, 3, or 5 equals 0.38, 0.42, 0.54, I think, if we add them all up. So that's that. Yeah, that's 0.54. So that means for 100 spins, you'd expect it to land on an odd number 54 times. And then for 400 spins, we would expect that times 4. And that would be 216. And again, I still haven't got my calculator out, so apologies if I'm making any kind of arithmetic errors. Norberto sells white loaves of bread and brown loaves of bread. He sells a total of 200 loaves, such that the number of white loaves to the number of brown loaves is 3 to 2. Okay. So that means we know if that's 5, then 5 goes into 240 times. So that means he would have sold 3 times 40, which is 120 to 80. Right, Norberto sells the white loaves at £1.50 and he sells brown loaves for £1.75. 40% of the white loaf is profit and 60% of the brown loaf is profit. Work out his total profit. So that means we do 120... should we do it that way? Well, we could actually do 40% of the white loaf as profit. So, and is that white? And that's brown. Okay, so we know what's 40% of £1.50? So that would be 0.4 times that. 0.1 is 0.15 times 4. So that means she makes 60 pence off every £1.50. And then I really do think I might need to use... Oh, I've got a calculator, it's just here. I'm just going to make my life a lot easier and do this. So we know that So let's do 120 times 1.5 equals and then times that by 0.4, which is 72. So he makes £72 off the white loaves profit, and he makes, the next one is 1.75, so it'd be 80 times 1.75 times 0.6 equals 84. And then you put those together and we get 6156. Now in this case, I don't think my arithmetic's wrong, I just don't know if I completely paid attention while I was doing that. This one, 2 times 3, that's 7 over 3, divided by 5 times 4 plus 1 is 21 over 4. Keep, change, flip. I suppose I can just do this, 3, 1, that's 4 over 9. So that's 4/9. And should I do one more? Slavomir invests €5,200 in a savings account for 4 years, and he gets that much compound interest. How much will he have? So we say 5,200 times 100 plus 2.05 equals 102.5. Divide by 100 gives us our multiplier, so it's 1.025 to the power 4. And that is, I'll tell you what the answer is, and then we'll do what they've asked us to do. And that's the power 4 equals, so it's €5,739.83, but we need to do it to the nearest euro, so that makes it 5,740 euros. Right, I'm going to stop doing this now.